The air feels heavy as you move through the old forest. Every sound around you, leaves crunching, branches swaying, feels like a warning. The tall trees, once comforting, now seem to watch your every move. Suddenly, the ground shakes beneath your feet. A low, deep rumble echoes through the woods, and you freeze in fear. It's not just the wind. Something huge is moving. In the shadows, you hear a deep growl, ancient and threatening. A giant shape appears between the trees, and before you can react, another sound fills the air, a loud, heavy thudding. The ground shakes even more as if the monsters of the past are walking nearby. This is prehistoric Canada, where every step you take brings you closer to creatures that once ruled this land. Number 1. Giant Beaver. The giant beaver, called Castoroids, was a massive creature, far larger than the beavers we know today. Imagine a rodent reaching 8 feet, which is 2.4 meters in length, and weighing up to 200 pounds, about the size of a modern black bear. These giant beasts roamed Canada's wetlands during the Pleistocene epoch, towering over any other rodent species. With huge, sharp teeth, they could bite through the thick wood with ease and protect themselves from predators. Their teeth were enormous, stretching several inches long, and were used to chew through trees, building massive dams and lodges. These structures would have been far bigger than anything their modern cousins make today. While today's beavers are known for their smart, detailed construction, it's unclear if the giant beavers had the same skill. Some scientists believe their massive size, along with their different teeth, suggests they weren't expert builders. Instead, they might have relied on natural water formations, using their sheer size and strength to drive off enemies and competitors. They could swim through huge lagoons and rivers, searching for food and avoiding danger. Though these giants were vegetarians, eating water plants, bark, and leaves, their enormous size made them targets for Ice Age predators like dire wolves and saber-toothed cats. But when danger struck, those powerful teeth became their weapon. Despite their strength, giant beavers went extinct around 10,000 years ago, likely due to the climate change and loss of habitat. Yet, it's chilling to imagine one of these creatures swimming in a deep Canadian lake, or, well, gnawing through a massive tree trunk. The sight of such a giant would have been both awe-inspiring and terrifying for anyone who encountered them in the wild. Number 2. Mammoth. Of all the creatures that once roamed the earth, few stirred the imagination like the mighty Mammoth, a giant of the Ice Age. Towering over vast, prairies of ancient Canada, these beasts stood up to 13 feet, which is about 4 meters tall at the shoulder, and could weigh as much as 12 tons. Covered in thick, shaggy fur, they were built to survive the freezing cold, with layers of fat protecting them from the bitter climate. Their long, woolly hair made them look like something out of a legend, a creature from another world. But it was their tusks that were truly awe-inspiring, spiraled and massive, stretching up to 15 feet long. These tusks were more than just for show. They were powerful tools used to dig through snow for food, defend themselves from predators, and battle other mammoths for dominance. Despite their size and strength, mammoths were peaceful giants, feeding on grass and shrubs, grazing across the frozen tundra. These beasts weren't solitary wanderers either. Mammoths lived in tight-knit herds, led by the oldest female, who guided them to food and away from danger. Moving together in large groups, they were protected from predators like the saber-toothed cat, their young ones kept safe by the watchful eyes of the herd. You can imagine the ground shaking underfoot as a herd of these giants passed by, the earth trembling with their massive steps. Yet despite their strength and numbers, the mammoths couldn't survive the changes brought by time. Around 10,000 years ago, they vanished, likely due to a combination of the climate change and human hunting, but their legacy lives on. Picture the fear and awe an early human must have felt, standing frozen in place, as a herd of mammoths thundered past, their giant tusks gleaming in the pale light of the Ice Age. Ancient Canada was home to true giants, and the mammoth was the king of them all. Number 3. Albertonectes. Albertonectes was a strange and powerful marine reptile that ruled the shallow waters of ancient Canada during the last days of the Cretaceous period, about 76 million years ago. This creature belonged to a family of long-necked marine reptiles called Pyosaurus. But what made Albertonectes truly terrifying was its neck, 23 feet long, almost longer than the rest of its body, which measured 40 feet in total. With 76 vertebrae in its neck, Albertonectes could stretch out for its prey without moving its body, a deadly advantage in the prehistoric era. This massive predator hunted in the waters of what was once the Western Interior Seaway, a shallow sea that split North America in two. Picture Albertonectes gliding silently beneath the surface, its long neck ready to strike. Schools of fish or squid would have had no warning before those sharp needle-like teeth snapped around them. Though it looked frightening, Albertonectes mainly went after small, fast-moving prey and wouldn't have been a threat to anything much larger, including humans, had they lived at the time. What made Albertonectes even more deadly was its graceful movement in the water. Using its large flippers, it could swim swiftly and quietly, sneaking up on its prey before unleashing its long neck in a sudden deadly strike. Its size and speed made it an expert ambush hunter, hiding its body while its head shot forward to catch unsuspecting fish. But this long neck, its greatest strength, also made it vulnerable. In the same waters lurked the Mosasaurus, giant marine reptiles known for their brutal hunting style. A battle between these sea monsters would have been a clash of titans. Imagine swimming in those ancient seas knowing something with a neck as long as a bus might be lurking beneath, ready to strike from the shadows. In the world of prehistoric oceans, even the most skilled hunters had to watch their backs. Number 4. Cryo Drakon. The coal dragon, known as the Cryo Drakon, was one of the largest flying creatures to ever exist, soaring over ancient Canada during the late Cretaceous period. This giant pterosaur had a wingspan between 25 to 33 feet, larger than any bird today. With leathery wings stretched across long, bony arms, Cryo Dragon could glide effortlessly over vast distances, riding the wind like a shadow in the sky. It was first discovered in Alberta, and its name, meaning cold dragon, reflects the harsh northern climate it once called home. Even bigger than the famous Quetzalcoatlus, Cryo Drakon was lighter but had a greater wingspan. With its sharp vision, it scanned the ground from high above, searching for prey. Imagine this massive creature circling the skies, its beak ready to snatch up small dinosaurs, fish, and other animals with deadly precision. Its long, sharp beak was a terrifying tool for picking off anything unlucky enough to be spotted from above. Very few creatures could escape its grasp once it drove down from the sky. On the ground, Cryo Drakon had another deadly weapon, long, sharp claws at the end of each foot. These claws were perfect for gripping, prey or defending itself if needed. But with its enormous size and heavy wings, it struggled to move quickly and had to take off into the sky at first sign of danger. While it was a fearsome predator in flight, grounded Cryo Drakon had to be on a high alert, knowing it could be attacked by other hungry predators at any moment. Just imagine standing in the shadow of this massive creature, its leathery wings beating against the cold wind as it launched itself into the sky. Cryo Drakon was a true monster of the air, and nothing was safe from its grasp when it took to the skies. Number 5. Megalonyx. Another prehistoric giant of North America, once thought to be as slow and harmless as today's sloths, was a terrifying Megalonyx, also known as a giant ground sloth. This creature could stand up to 10 feet tall on its hind legs, towering over anything nearby, and weighed over 2,000 pounds, about the size of a small car. Megalonyx roamed the forests and grasslands of ancient Canada, using its massive curved claws to tear down tree branches and dig for roots and tubers. Though it was a herbivore, its size and strength made it a force to be reckoned with. Imagine those enormous claws, sharp and long, capable of ripping through the wood and earth. If any predator was foolish enough to attack, they'd be in for a nasty surprise. Those claws could easily devastate anything that threatened it. Though Megalonyx wasn't aggressive by nature, its mere presence could make even the fiercest predators think twice before approaching. You can picture it standing tall in the forest, its hulking body casting a huge shadow as it slowly moved through the trees. The ground would tremble with each step it took, and its massive claws, always ready, were enough to keep any danger at bay. Even the bravest creatures of the Ice Age knew better than to mess with its prehistoric giant. Number 6. Near-horned beast. Brontotherium, also known as the near-horned beast, was a massive creature that roamed the ancient grasslands of Canada. This giant relative of the rhinoceros could grow up to 16 feet long, which is 5 meters, and weigh as much as 5 tons. Imagine coming face to face with such a beast, its two stubby horns jutting out from its snout like dangerous weapons, ready to be used during battles for dominance or in defense. Though Brontotherium was a herbivore, its sheer size and strength were enough to scare off most predators. Just the sight of it stomping through the grasslands, horns gleaming, would have been terrifying. You can imagine the ground trembling under its massive weight, each step shaking the earth. And if anything dared to get too close, those horns could deliver a crushing blow that no animal could survive. In a world full of threats, Brontotherium was a giant that few would dare to challenge. Its muscular body, thick hide, and deadly horns made it nearly unstoppable. Walking into the path of this creature would be like standing in front of a charging rhinoceros. There would be no escape. Even for humans, they had lived at the time, this creature's presence would have been a true nightmare, towering over everything in its way. Number 7. Giant Short-Faced Bear. The giant short-faced bear was one of the most fearsome predators of its time, towering over anything in its path. This massive bear could stand between 3 to 12 feet tall, depending on which limbs were fully extended, and could weigh up to 1,500 pounds. It was not the kind of animal you'd want to meet, especially if you were wandering alone in the prehistoric forests of Canada. Unlike modern bears, which eat both plants and meat, the short-faced bear was a true carnivore, and a deadly one at that. Its long legs made it a fast runner, and once it locked its eyes on prey, like the bison or a young mammoth, escape was nearly impossible. Imagine the terror of seeing this enormous beast sprinting after you, closing the gap with every heavy stride. Its jaws were powerful enough to crush bones, meaning nothing went to waste when this predator made a kill. This giant roamed the icy tundras and dense forests of Ice Age North America, striking fear into every creature that crossed its path. Even early humans would have stood no chance against such a beast. Its sheer size, speed, and strength made it one of the most dangerous hunters in history. Now imagine being chased by something faster, larger, and more powerful than any predator we have today. Just the thought of it is enough to send chills down your spine. The giant short-faced bear was just the ultimate terror, ruling the ancient wilderness with unmatched power. Number 8. Saber-Toothed Cats. Among all the prehistoric cats, none are as infamous as the Smolodon, also known as the Saber-Toothed Cats. This terrifying predator was about the same size as today's lions, but with one deadly difference: its massive, razor-sharp fangs that grew up to 11 inches. That's 28 centimeters long. Just the sight of those teeth would have been enough to freeze anyone in fear. Smolodon roamed North and South America, including parts of northern Canada during the Ice Age. Although they had short legs, what they lacked in speed, they made up for with sheer muscle and strength. These powerful cats hunted large prey like bison, horses, and even young mastodons. Once they lashed onto their prey with their strong front legs, there was no escape. With a swift, lethal bite from the saber-like teeth, they brought down their victims with deadly precision. But what made these cats even more dangerous was that they didn't hunt alone. Saber-toothed cats were believed to live and hunt in groups, making them even more deadly to their prey. Imagine a pack of these powerful predators stalking through the grass, their fangs gleaming in the sunlight, eyes locked on their target. For early humans, encountering a group of Smolodon would have been a true nightmare. A true single saber-tooth was terrifying enough, but a pack? There was no escape. Number 9. Glyptodon. Glyptodon was another ugly creature that resembled a modern armadillo and could be referred to as a tank. It is a late Pleistocene epoch mammal that is an herbivore that could reach a total length of 10 feet, 3 meters, and a total weight of up to 2,000 pounds, which is 900 kilograms. Glyptodon had a thick, bony carapace which must have protected it against predators. One of its thrusters was a problem, but the other end of the sub was a whole other world. Glyptodon had a rather massive, cylindrical tail, which many believe was used in times of danger to fend off predators. Even though it was not a predator, Glyptodon had all the features of a dangerous mammal of the prehistoric age: size, armor, and muscular tail. Number 10. Andrewsarchus. Andrewsarchus was a large carnivorous mammal active in the Eocene epoch and is sometimes claimed to be the largest ever terrestrial carnivore. Its skull was over 3 feet in length and could have weighed up to 2,200 pounds, which is 1,000 kilograms. This dreadful beast had a snout that, according to its function for tearing and chewing its prey and crushing bones, corresponded to perfection. Andrewsarchus most probably hunted small mammals and reptiles and fed on large animals by scavenging. But now we meet Androsarchus, who lived millions of years before humans, and facing it would be like facing a real-life monster. Due to its size and hunting abilities, it was considered to be one of the most dangerous creatures in its period of existence. Thanks for joining us on this wild and spooky journey through the past of Canada's prehistoric creatures. If you like this adventure, remember to click the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more content. Please share with us in the comments below which prehistoric animal interests you the most. See you next time!